Good morning. It is now 11 a.m. Toronto time, which is the scheduled start for the 2025 Annual General Shareholders Meeting of Fury Gold Mines Limited. My name is Tim Clark, CEO and Director of Fury, and I will be acting as chair of today's business meeting. I'd like to thank you for making the time to attend today, as your presence is important to us. As you know, this 2025 Annual General Meeting of Shareholders is being held virtually through the platform of AGM Connect, and there's no single meeting location. This platform is accessible to all shareholders with internet access, regardless of physical location, to participate, submit questions, and for those who are able to vote on business brought before this meeting. I now officially call the meeting to order and appoint Ms. Helga Furhurst to act as secretary of the meeting and Ms. Danielle Cavalcanti of AGM Connect to act as scrutineer of the meeting. The purpose that we complete the legal required or formal business of this meeting first. Following that, I will provide time for a brief Q&A and corporate update. A reminder to everyone that only registered shareholders who held shares in their name as of May 12th, 2025, the record date of this meeting, or their validly appointed proxy holders are entitled to attend and vote at this meeting. Other people are welcomed as guests. However, we reserve the right to cut off access to anyone disrupting the meeting.
Should any shareholders or duly appointed proxy holders wish to vote today, you can do so online through the platform using the 12-digit control number that you had received. If you have any technical issues, please reach out through the chat function.
I will now commence the formal business of the meeting. The formal business of the meeting is described in the notice of meeting of shareholders dated May 12th, 2025. And this year it is limited to routine annual business, namely the election of directors and appointment of auditors. As this is a virtual meeting, we will conduct the votes on the matters before the meeting using AGM Connect's voting platform. The corporation has received the results of proxy voting up to and including June 24th, 2025, and management will vote these proxies as directed, which I can advise now are overwhelmingly in favor of the proposed resolutions. I instruct Ms. Furhurst as secretary to table at the meeting the following documents to perform part of the formal record. Number 1, notice of meeting. Number 2, instrument of proxy. Number 3, management information circular. If there are no objections, I will dispense with the reading of the notice of this meeting. If anyone wants me to read the 3 agenda items, please use the raise hands function on the platform, and I will read them. Otherwise, I'll move on.
There are no objections.
Prior to moving to the matters requiring a vote by shareholders, I will ask for the scrutineer to please report the number of shareholders present in person and the total number of shares they represent, together with the number of shares represented by proxy.
Sorry. There are 12 shareholders in person or by proxy, representing a total of 45,698,698. And that is 28.50% of the total issued and outstanding as of the record date.
Thank you, Danielle. Therefore, I can confirm that a quorum is present and proof of notice calling this meeting has been given in accordance with the corporation's articles, the Business Corporations Act and the Securities Act of British Columbia. I therefore declare that the meeting is regularly called and properly constituted for the transaction of business, and instruct the secretary to make the declaration of mailing and attached exhibits as Schedule A to the minutes of this meeting. The first item of business is to receive and consider the audited financial statements of the corporations for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2024, together with the corporation's auditor's report. Copies of such documents have been publicly filed on SEDAR+ since March 31st and also mailed to shareholders who requested a copy. So unless someone wishes them read, I don't propose to read them. Are there any questions on the financial statements? Please use the raise hands function if you wish for any part of the financial statements to be read or discussed. Questions can be asked using the Q&A function. However, please note that management reserves the right to assess the appropriateness of any questions, particularly with respect to confidentiality and the restrictions on disclosing non-public information. I now instruct the secretary of the meeting to table the financial statements of the corporation for the year ended December 31st, 2024, together with the auditor's report thereon. I now ask AGM Connect to open live voting for this meeting for the two items requiring a shareholders vote, namely election of directors and auditors. Please remember you can ask questions regarding the business of the meeting via the chat function in the application at any time. The meeting moderator will put forth your questions, subject to management's obligation to determine they are appropriate for this forum. The next item of business is the election of directors. The 5 nominees for management of the corporation were identified in the management information circular made available on SEDAR+ and are as follows: Forrester A. Clark, Brian Christie, Steve Cook, Michael Hoffman, Allison Sagath Williams. On behalf of the board, I'm making the 5 management nominations and moving they be elected. The 5 persons proposed by management are either in attendance today or have consented to be re-elected. I also confirm that nominations have been received from the shareholders pursuant to the requirements for advance notice for nominations, which are contained in the company's articles. Our articles require that certain information be provided to the company about any proposed shareholder-initiated nominee well before the meeting so that shareholders can make an informal decision before being asked to vote and are not taken by surprise by unexpected nomination from the floor. We did not receive an advance notice of nominations this year. I hereby declare the nominations closed and move on as follows. Be it resolved that Forrester A. Clark, Brian Christie, Steve Cook, Michael Hoffman, and Allison Sagath Williams are hereby elected as directors of the corporation to hold office until the close of the next annual meeting of shareholders or until their successors are elected or appointed in accordance with and subject to the provisions of the corporate's articles. Are there any questions regarding this resolution?
No questions have been asked.
I will ask you to vote based on the fact that these are the only nominees before the meeting. I declare each of them elected. We are voting because the company also has majority voting policy, which means that if any director were to receive more withheld votes than votes in favor, that person would be required to offer their resignation. Based on the proxies, I can confirm that all directors have received a majority of votes in favor. The next item of business is to appoint auditors of the corporation and to authorize the directors to fix their auditors' remuneration. The following resolution comes to the floor of the meeting, moved by me. Be it resolved that Deloitte LLP, Chartered Professional Accountants be reappointed as the auditors of the corporation to hold office until the close of the next annual meeting of shareholders, and that the board of directors be authorized to fix the auditor's remuneration. Are there any alternative nominations or questions regarding this resolution?
There are no questions.
Hearing none, please place your votes. I declare all resolutions put forth to have duly passed. Is there any further formal business that may be properly brought to this 2025 annual general meeting of the shareholders of Fury Gold Mines Limited by any member of management or a shareholder?
No further business has been brought forward.
I therefore declare all resolutions carried and close the meeting. Thank you for your participation in today's shareholder meeting. This is the end of the formal portion of today's AGM. If anyone has any questions or concerns regarding either of the information set forth during this meeting or general inquiries about the corporation, please send an email to the address located on screen now. And After this, we're going to do a corporate update, just a brief 3 slides. And obviously, for the purposes of disclosure, we had to put that slide up, and you can refer to the details on our website. On the first slide, this is just an updated version of our assets that stretch across Canada. The 2 new sort of properties that I think are worth noting are Sakami up in Quebec. As investors may or may not recall, we acquired Quebec Precious Metals this past winter, and that included Sakami, where we're actively going to be drilling now, and Kippawa, which is a rare earth project about 4 hours north of Toronto in Quebec. The other obvious parts are where the big resources are for us are Committee Bay and Eau Claire, and this represents what I think is a very good diversified portfolio of high-grade targets in Canada. Next slide. As mentioned, Sakami is a target for drilling. We're actively drilling there right at the moment. We're looking at 5,000 meters into that property, and the hope here is to follow on what Quebec Precious Metals have been doing there. It's about it's just northwest of the Éléonore mine. We're to the south of Éléonore mine with Eau Claire. But so we've got a camp up there, and we're hoping to have results coming out over the next month, sort of the back end of July and August, which would be exciting. And then at the same time, we are mobilizing to go up to Committee Bay, which is our big project up in the Nunavut. It's going to be another $4 or $5 million investment up there to develop and follow on our targets from 4 years ago. This is being backed by Agnico Eagle, and I think it's one of the targets that I think a lot of investors have been waiting for us to go after. Eau Claire is being evaluated. We would like to be drilling there this fall. But we were trying to target and make sure that where we're going is sort of the proper amount. We've been doing some evaluations, and we'll hopefully announce a project some point over the summer. And then as far as Kippawa, the rare earth project, this was an asset that we weren't intending to acquire, but it was in the portfolio of Quebec Precious Metals. It's the only rare earths resource that has a full feasibility study on it that's already done, that's not been built in North America. We think, given the environment today in demand for rare earths, this could be worth something. We acquired it for zero, so there's a lot of potential upside. Our senior VPX and I, Brian Atkinson, went up with the old CEO of Quebec Precious Metals. And we went up and met with 18 mayors and the First Nations about a month ago. There seems to be enthusiasm to bring that project back online. So it's going to take some time, but again, exciting part of Fury. And lastly, next slide, there we go, is sort of just the corporate overview of Fury. We're at 115 million market cap now. Shares outstanding have gone up to 171.6 million. It's still on the low side. We have some warrants. We haven't put out any warrants since I joined 4 years ago, except Agnico Eagle was interested in them, and with the opportunity to go to 9.9 if the share price starts to improve. And then as far as the performance is concerned, we're trading right in line with our peer group. TSXV is really what we've been tracking. Gold obviously has moved up quite a bit, and as well as the producers and some of the mid caps. Our hope is that we'll be in front of the wave with a best-in-class asset and company in the junior market when we finally see some flows coming back into the space. And that is really the story. Thank you very much.